Welcome back to Beyond the Boardroom, the official ASMi Business School podcast where we explore bold ideas, real stories, and industry insights from the people that are building the future of business. I'm Snigdha, and with me, I have my co host, Hiba.
For today's podcast, we have our guest, Ms. Debalina Roy, the General Manager of Vodafone Idea Limited in Kolkata, with over 18 years of experience in shaping people, culture, and capability in large organizations. She's also an ICF PCC certified coach who spends a lot of time with students and young professionals, helping them crack the campus to corporate code and grow into confident and inclusive leaders.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us today. Could you walk our audience through your career journey to becoming a general manager at Vodafone Idea Limited? I'm talking about the decisions that you have taken into your leadership path.
Thank you. Thank you so much, both of you and your college, for having me here. And I'm feeling wonderful to interact with the bright minds like you, both of you. Yes, so general manager is just a designation. So if you're talking about 20 years or 18, 19 years of corporate journey, and of course taking up leadership positions, lot of decisions, So first and foremost, I am a true believer of continuous learning. My job for me is also a place where I should be continuously learn something new and do something new, take up new challenges and deliver. So you must see that I have worked in multiple different industries. It's not just telecom. I have also worked in manufacturing, solar panel manufacturing, cement manufacturing, non-banking financial corporation, and also in two different telecom companies. So I always wanted to explore new challenges, new learning, and you can say like learning agility, and also making myself exposed in different environment, different teams, different people, so that I adapt. That these are all life skills: adaptability, resiliency, all these things. By going out of my comfort zone, taking that learning zone and growth zone, by putting a lot of extra hours of work, dedication, sincerity, burning the midnight lamp, all these things, and of course taking the right decision at the right time. That also helps.
Right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, the telecom sector in India has undergone massive transformation over the past decade. How has your role and the skill requirement for leaders evolved during this period? And what are the biggest shifts that you have witnessed?
Yes. Yes, one thing that is always constant is change. Change, right? Whether in your own personal life or in organization or overall in this world, change. So I have seen telecom also. I started my own career with my telecom company. So that time, way back in 2008 and all, so that time I have seen certain skill sets. And when I talk about skill set, it's all hard skills as well as soft skills like behavioral skills, as well as technical and functional skills. The type of tools that we used to use that time, now it is evolved. Okay, the SAP version that we used to is now it is evolved. The different other tools that we used to use, even the Excel itself, there are different versions, upgraded versions of Excel. So those tools are evolving. And of course, if you're talking about the telecom spectrum, 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G, and sooner or later 6G will also come. So technology is also evolving fast, right? And we were talking about a lot of things are now cloud based. So that is another area. A lot of AI tools are already with us. We have an AI chatbot. So those are all technical skills which we need to master, of course. And the most important of all, because technical skills you can learn very fast. But the most important of all is your own soft skills, behavioral skills. Nowadays, you will see a lot of Gen Zs, millennials, हम लोग ही millennial है, तो Gen Zs are in the workplace. So, working with different generations of people, and Zen Alpha is also coming up, right? Working with different generations of people, you need, as a manager, as a leader, you need lot of soft skills, even as an individual contributor. The soft skills like compassionate leadership. Nowadays, gone are those days wherein we used to say that, revenue is my first priority, or EBITDA is my first priority. Nowadays, leaders are saying people are my first priority. Because in this technology-driven world, technology is of course there, but those people who can manage people better, that is even more important nowadays. So being a compassionate leader, you have to challenge people with care, being a compassionate leader, being someone who is very empathetic, who can support others, being a manager who can appreciate team members, who can demonstrate care. Okay, so all these things are important. Being someone who can do career conversations with the team members, because the Gen Zs, if you see, they change job very fast. So they want something bigger very fast. So do the conversation, career conversation. Show them the roadmap. Show them what are the skill sets they have now and what are the skill sets required for future. Do those capability building discussions with your team members. Do those type of there are different people working together. Like, of course, one is gender, men and women. Apart from gender also, different people from different nations, nationality, different cultural background, lot of specially abled people are also there. Like, we are now all companies are focusing on this diversity, equity, inclusion. So having those mindset, inclusive mindset. So all these things are soft skills, behavioral skills. That is very important, as important as your technical skills, because I am in HR, I know technical skills are very easily, learnable. But these leadership skills, being compassionate, being empathetic, able to have coaching conversation with your team members, your ability to appreciate others, ability to recognize others, ability to have those career conversations. These things are really hard to build. It should come from within, and to be able to do it, you should develop yourself. You should have a lot of focused development for yourself. Only then you will be able to do it. And nowadays in this AI world, these things are something AI will never be able to replace. The human being, the decision making, the judgment, all these things AI will never be able to, at least till now, not being able to replace. So human beings should focus more on these things.
Many of us ASMi students are interested in transitioning from individual coordinator roles to leadership. So what are your biggest learning curves when you first joined in the management positions?
Nowadays, even if you are an individual contributor, you need to show the signs of a leader. You can be a leader yourself in an individual contributor role. There are two things that are important in corporate or business scenario. One is your results, how focused are you on your results, and second is people, how well you can manage people who are working with you, or you can develop people who are with you. So one is people, another is the results. So as an individual contributor also, you need to have both the things. And as a people manager, maybe when you transition from, if you have read Ramcharan's Leadership Pipeline, right? There's a famous book. I suggest all management students must read that book, Ramcharan's Leadership Pipeline. So if you see from an individual contributor, if you want to become a people manager, there are a lot of first-time managerial things that a person need. Till now, the individual contributor was only responsible for his or her own performance. But the time he becomes a manager of people, 10 people reporting to him or her, he is now responsible or answerable for the performance of all the 10 people, team members reporting to him. So the exercise that we just did, having, as a manager, communication. Am I clearly communicating the goals, setting the goals to my team member? So communication. As a first-time manager, we have to master the communication. Communication in terms setting goals. Communication in terms feedback. It's all about continuous feedback. This is not like my team member has done something today and I'm waiting for the mid-year appraisal or annual appraisal to happen, wherein I'm giving the feedback after 6 months or 1 year. It doesn't happen like that. The feedback is no more valid then. So it's about continuous feedback, and also there's a way of giving feedback. You have to master the art of giving feedback to your team member on a continuous basis so that they can take it as a feed forward and work on it and develop themselves. So as a manager, you're also communicating organization related updates to your team members. So all this, one is communication. That's one part, right? Then the second part can be time management. Like as an individual contributor, you are only responsible for getting your things done. But now you have to ensure that the 10 people reporting to you, they're also getting their things done. So prioritization. How can you prioritize? How can you make those things, identify who is urgent, important, not important, Eisenhower matrix, if you have done that Eisenhower matrix, if you have done that. So those prioritization, time management. As a manager, you are leading time. Right. Remember, not only your time, your team members' time. Also, be able to, as I told you, be able to do those hard, crucial conversations. Crucial conversation, it itself is a book. Having, like, you are there to ensure the work gets done. If someone is not being able to deliver the work, okay, at times you need to do those crucial conversation, wherein high stake conversation, wherein high amount of emotion is also involved, high amount of result is involved, like it's very impactful. Something will get highly impacted if you're not being able to do those crucial conversation with your team members. A team member is always coming late, for that work is suffering. A team member is not delivering within timeline, the work is suffering. A team member is not producing the result that is desired, work is getting hampered. So you just cannot let go of the team member. You have to hold those crucial conversations, master the art of doing those crucial conversations. Right. So all these things, there are multiple other things like how to do coaching conversations. Manager is a coach. Nowadays, if you find Google's project Oxygen, they're talking about manager as a coach, how important it is. Okay, so all those things like being high on result, at the same time being high on people, concerned for people and concerned for result, both should be high as a first time people manager.
Very informative. Thank you so much. I think we could take a lot from those advices.
Thanks.
So your session today is titled Future Ready Talent, What Leaders Really Look For Beyond Skills. This is a question our students often ask. What does beyond skill actually mean? And can you give us a concrete example from your hiring or team building experiences?
Yes, from my own experience, hiring, yeah. So first is authenticity, right? Being an authentic and honest person, right? The interviewer is normally having more experience than you most of the times, and he or she can understand if the person is, having a in-depth understanding and knowledge about that particular skill set that the person has mentioned on the CV. So yes, one is authenticity, which is not written on the resume, but that is very important when you are giving interview. Being authentic, not faking, telling the truth. Even if you don't know something, just simply say, ma'am or sir, I don't have any idea, but I promise I will find out more about it. it's very interesting if it is interesting at all for you. Being authentic, being genuine. So that is one skill, that is the most important skill. Another is, as I am telling you, hard skills can be developed, but soft skills. Soft skills, again I'm saying in management scenario, most important is communication, then your coordination with others, interpersonal skills, being able to gel well with others, connect with others, influencing others, right? Because a lot of time in any business, any company that you join, in any position, you will find that you have to get things done by influencing others, by convincing others, by persuading others, okay? Persuading others. So all these things, I'm sure all those skills you don't write on your resume, but if you have any exposure, like both of you are in this media group of your college, I must congratulate for you for that, because you have taken up, you have a lot of courage to take this role up, and you are doing a lot of practice, a lot of self-development, you have a lot of curiosity, you have written down questions, you are continuously fine-tuning questions, you are asking me questions, doing this podcast. So you have taken up a leadership position in this media and publication in your college now. So whenever you are facing any interview, talk about it, and talk about it in detail. Maybe you cannot write in detail in your resume, you have to mention 1 or 2 lines about it, but when the interviewer is, even if the interviewer is ignoring, maybe the interviewer has not focused on that particular line wherein you have written that you have led the media team of your college, then have the courage to tell interviewer that, sir, I would like to share with you that I had a leadership experience when leading the media team of my college. Then the interviewer will be curious, okay, tell me more about it. Then you tell in detail what have been your specific achievements, how many podcasts you have done, okay, what are the specific achievements from that podcast, how did you improve yourself over time, So all these things in detail. Maybe the person who is taking your interview will not ask you so many details, but from your side you should ensure that you give all the details.
Okay.
And in authentically, don't fake anything. Whatever you have done, just say that much. So those things which are not written in a resume, all these things are very important.
So we have often heard about technical skills becoming obsolete quickly, but the soft skills, the communication, adaptability, leadership, the emotional intelligence seems timeless. How do you assess these intangibles during recruitments? Like, what are the red flags or green flags do you see in a person that you are taking in the company, for example?
Yeah, what a great question. It's a very good question, I must tell you. Okay, so yes, emotional intelligence is something which is a real requirement for a managerial role, because you are dealing with people. And if you are emotionally intelligent, you can do wonders. In fact, you will realize that after a certain point of time, you are having 5 years, 10 years experience, you are already a subject matter expert. The only thing that will differentiate you from others is your EQ, emotional quotient. It's the most important skill a person has, to climb up the corporate ladder or anywhere. I'm sure it's the most important skill nowadays, being emotionally intelligent. So if you're talking about in an interview scenario, of course, we need people who are emotionally intelligent. Are you born with emotional intelligence? No, right? You develop that, that's a life skill. You develop your emotional intelligence first by being aware of it, and then developing it in your day-to-day work, okay? So, as an interviewer, lot of times, and we are all trained in all those scientific methods of interviewing. If you are in HR, you will understand, you will read these things. Behavioral event interviewing, okay? Past behavior is indicating the future behavior. The STAR technique, what was the situation, task, okay? What are the actions you took and what is the result? What was your reflection? So all these, there are some scientific techniques, asking more probing questions. And we are all trained in that. So we know what questions will give me, will make me understand if the person has emotional intelligence or what is the EQ of the person. Maybe if I ask you right now, like, can you tell me of a recent incidents, maybe last 6 months or so, wherein you have failed severely, or just failed, you attempted doing something or you failed. Now there are candidates, if they say that I never failed, I am always a champion, I'm always successful, that means you don't realize that you fail. Emotional intelligence starts with self-awareness, and self-awareness is, it's not a big failure. We are failing. If you are taking initiatives, you are bound to fail. And if not 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, there must be 1 or 2 incidents where you have failed. So, and if you are saying that, madam, I have never failed in my life in last 2 years, I can't recollect that I have failed, that means you are not self-aware. So that's the first red flag. You are not self-aware. And emotional intelligence, Daniel Goleman is the father of emotional intelligence, and he talks about 4 quadrants in emotional intelligence. The first quadrant being self-aware. So having those, are you self-aware? Like I asked you a question, out of 10 in Excel, what is the, how will you rate yourself? Someone said 7, someone 6, someone 5. So at least you are self-aware that I'm here. Second is, suppose the follow-up question can be, someone said I failed in this. Then what was the reason for the failure? I will ask this question as an interviewer. If I am testing your emotional intelligence quotient, I will ask you, what was the reason for your failure? Then there are candidates who will tell, because my professor did this, or my placement coordinator did this, or maybe the recruiter was not that. So they will externalize the problem. They will not own it up that because of my shortcoming I failed. I failed because someone else was not doing the right thing. Okay? So if you are externalizing the problem, that means that there is a red flag. That means if you are externalizing the problem, there is a red flag. Because if I have failed, I also have some shortcoming for which I failed. Maybe I could not do this, that. So whether you have again those. And then maybe what is your learning from the failure? If you are a learning agility, high on learning agility, you will learn and reflect and learn from your failure. And what are your action points? How have you implemented your learning so that you don't fail again? So all these questions, if the recruiter is asking, and the candidate is, like 2-3 sample answers I gave you, that is a red flag that the person does not have a high emotional intelligence yet. But the good news is, once you are aware, you can develop your emotional intelligence. And also, you know, emotional intelligence, emotional quotient is something that is the most important skill, soft skill in the workplace. Because again, I'm telling you, technical skills can be learnt very fast. But all these soft skills are very, takes a lot of time, lot of effort, you know, to develop. And these soft skills are the most important. Even if you don't know Excel, but you are very high on emotional intelligence, the company will hire you. Because at a fresher level, entry level, they're hiring for your attitude. They know that your skill sets, they will give you some training period, and your skill sets, technical skill set can be developed. But your attitude, if there is a problem in your attitude, that will be very difficult. So that's why they hire you for your attitude.
Ma'am, in the telecom industry, innovation and disruptions are constant. So how do you identify candidates or team members with a genuine learning mindset? And what does curiosity exactly look like in a professional setting?
Okay, so you have asked me 2 questions at a time.
Yeah.
Can you repeat your first question?
Okay, the first question was, how do you identify a candidate or a team member with a genuine learning mindset?
Okay. So learning mindset, learning agility, and then curiosity.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So in fact, we have these 2 values in our company also, learning agility and curiosity. Okay, so curiosity and learning agility, they go hand in hand. And you can solve any problem if you have these 2 things, curiosity and learning agility. And by the way, critical thinking and problem solving. These are the two skills that human beings still have a better advantage than AI. Critical thinking and problem solving. AI will do only that much which it is programmed, right? Like human being can go beyond, imagine beyond lot of things, and they can innovate, they can do a lot of creative thinking and logical thinking, not only logical thinking, creative thinking, and solve problems in a better way. So these two skills also we need to develop. And learning agility, curiosity, yeah, of course. Learning agility is relearn and unlearn and relearn, continuous learning, learning from your failure, applying those failure. Sometimes it is also design thinking, it is also blue sky thinking, developing new things, something new, something out of the box, something very different from others. Curiosity is about being curious. Newton was curious why the apple fell down. And from that only we have got the law of gravity, right? So because he was curious, someone was curious, that's why all the inventions, discoveries and everything in this world, like this electric light bulb or something, like who invented electric light bulb? Thomas Edison, right?
Yeah.
So Thomas Edison invented and he failed 10,000 times. So he was curious to know how can he, finally get this electric light bulb. And that's why, because of his curiosity and his learning agility, he said that I learned 10,000 different ways, which is not leading me to the electric light bulb, because he actually in his lab failed 10,000 times. If you are doing something and you fail once, twice, thrice, 10 times, I'm sure all of us will stop doing that.
Yeah,
We'll think,
yes.
this is not my cup of tea. But he didn't stop at that. He continued. His curiosity, learning agility was so high. So as a recruiter or as a HR, I'll ask this type of questions like, what was your last failure? And what was your learning? How did you, then what was your coping strategy? How are you doing better now? What are the action plans you developed? And curiosity also, there can be questions like, nowadays AI, agentic AI, generative AI. So are you doing anything? How much do you know about it? So if you're curious enough, you will do it on your own.
Right.
And other people who are not curious enough, they will say that my college has never externalizing the problem. Like my college has never taken class on AI. My college has never taken class on generative AI. So that's why we don't know. They're happy with that. And the curious people will say that I took extra effort, I did that Udemy course, I attended that classroom session to educate myself on AI and agentic AI. The curious people will say like that.
Yes. So coming back, as a general manager, you have overseen significant teams and departments. What is your philosophy on team building, and how do you balance diversity through organization cohesion?
Team building starts with understanding the strength of each of your team member, right? It's always a strength based. One should complement the other, right?
Right.
So it starts with strength, identifying the strength, also identifying what triggers motivation. Motivation is something internal. You cannot motivate me till the time I want to be motivated, right? So there are triggers. Someone can be triggered by new learning, someone can be triggered by new challenges, someone can be triggered by getting a promotion, someone can be triggered by getting higher salary percentage increment. So all of these are triggers, but a person A is more motivated in this and person B is more motivated in this. So understanding each of your team member in the best possible way, what triggers motivation, what is their strength, okay, what motivates them, what is the skill set they have, how can they complement each other. So that's one. And second is, being a leader, you have to be, build that trust. That is again something AI cannot do. A human being has to develop trust. The team members should trust each other, team members should trust the manager. Providing that psychological safety. Psychological safety means if I am your manager and both of you are reporting to me, if you have made a mistake, you will never think twice like what will madam think. You will come and admit your mistake to me without any doubt or without any stress. Madam, I have genuinely made this mistake. Tell me please what can I do about it? But if you have not created the psychological safety, you will think 100 times before coming to your manager and admitting the mistake to your manager. So as a manager, you have to provide that psychological safety to your team members so that they admit not only mistake, if you have a brilliant idea. And as a manager, if I am not aware, because all of you are young, bright people, and of course you also have a lot of good ideas which maybe us don't have. So if you have a bright, good idea, and as a manager, if I say that, oh no, that's a stupid idea, just don't come with it again, then I'm not providing you with psychological safety. Maybe that idea to you is a great idea, maybe I think that it can be developed further, so I need to tell you that what a great idea, I'm sure we will implement it in future. That means I'm providing you the psychological safety that I am not discouraging you, I'm not criticizing you, I am giving you a safe space wherein you can be yourself. You can bring your authentic self to work. So as a manager, if I can do that, the team building happens automatically.
So, have you had mentors who shaped your career, and now how do you mentor your team members? And I have another question. What's the difference between a manager and a mentor to you?
Okay, great question. So myself being a coach and a very enthusiast in coaching and mentoring, both are very different things though. So yes, we all need mentors and we all need coaches, coach too, a person, we all need a coach in our life and we all need a mentor. So coaching is very different than from mentoring. Mentoring is more for young people who have just joined the workforce. They are kind of feeling lost, they don't know the direction. So a person who is a senior person, maybe from the same function, from other function, mostly from the same function, can mentor the person. Like I'm feeling directionless. I've completed 1 year in the organization in finance, but I think finance is not my cup of tea. I want to join marketing, or I want to join commercial, I want to join HR. So a person is feeling lost. The mentor can step in and tell him or her that in my experience I have seen someone doing this, has got this. So this is mentoring, giving advice, sharing personal experience, giving advice. And we all need a mentor at some point of time in the organization. I had multiple mentors and they have played a crucial role in my life. And how do I ensure that I also be a mentor? There is a formal organization process wherein we identify mentors and assign mentors to the young management trainees and CETs that we take. Of course, they need guidance, advice, and informally also, as being in HR, they come to us, sharing their problems, sharing their issues, and we keep mentoring them. So that's an ongoing part and parcel of our job, of course. And mentoring is most of the time, the best mentoring happens, informally. Suppose you like someone, means professionally you like someone in the organization, you walk to him or her and ask for some advice. Just like that. Like, sir, I really like the way you talk, I really like this and that. So can you please advise me on this? I'm feeling stuck. So that's the best way of, you have to find your own mentors. Don't wait, again, don't externalize that my organization didn't provide a mentor to me. This is your job to find the best mentor for you and approach that person like, I need your advice, can you please advise? So that's mentoring.
So not every decision pans out and not every team member succeed. So according to you, what is like to create a culture where people can ask you and are not afraid to take calculated risk?
So you are somehow, I'm not sure if you have researched of my company values and competencies. You are talking like the past two questions, it was on curiosity and learning agility, and now you're asking about another value that we have, that is being bold. And being bold, that's a value that's we follow, and being bold means you are not afraid of failure. You are ready to take calculated risk. Exactly these words we use. You know, the new joiners, we take them through a full day value session, and we teach them, we tell them, we train them how to be bold, how to take, bold decisions without being afraid in life, right? So it's a culture in the organization again. We follow what the leaders are doing in the organization. We follow them. If the leaders are, showing that they are bold, the followers, the team members will also be bold.
Right. And what role does resilience play in your organization?
Very important role. Very important role. Any business, any organization, they go through up and down, up and down. Resilience and adaptability is a skill that ensures, and it's a people skill, right? People has to, not organization, the people has to have the skill. So resilience and adaptability. We train all our people on these two skills. Being resilient, right? That means being able to bounce back from your failure. So as an organization, we ensure that each and every, people, like, they have, gone through this type of a session.
Right.
Okay, so again I have two questions, but I'll ask one by one. Okay. So you're a woman general manager in a sector traditionally dominated by men. So quite literally women in male dominated fields. So what advice would you give to aspiring women professionals in tech and telecom?
Choose your organizations wisely. Choose those organizations which are promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion in the culture. So that's one. And choose also, you cannot choose your manager, you can choose your leader, but of course it's in the organization's DNA, right? So if you are lucky enough to work in an organization or choose an organization wherein they are promoting this, then as a woman, always have that courage to speak up, right? Second is, don't have that guilt feeling. At a lot of times, especially when you are married, you have a child, children and all, a lot of women have those guilt, motherly guilt, So don't be guilty. You cannot do everything together and attain perfection in each of this. Have a strong backup, something at your home. Don't have those guilt in your mind, and have courage, speak up, and don't be underconfidence. Have a lot of self-esteem, a lot of self-confidence that you are the best. Develop yourself, invest in yourself, and always believe that you are the best. And in fact, there are researches and studies who have, there are school of thoughts wherein the skills that a woman has, those skills are very nurturing others. These skills are very important in an organization setup, especially as a manager. These skills are very important. So there are masculine strengths, skills, and feminine skills. So those feminine skills are also very important. So be confident of your skill set, and don't be afraid, have a lot of courage.
So my next question is, what barriers have you overcome?
Yes, when I became a mother, that time, that was one, something I was struggling with, work-life balance. So I had to have a good support system at home to take care of all the things at home and focus on my work. That was one barrier. Second is, when I joined my first organization as a management trainee, that time, of course, I joined as a fresher, and I didn't have much idea about a corporate culture or the work. I started with talent acquisition in HR. I didn't have much idea about it, like hands-on experience I didn't have. So that time I faced few challenges, like of course, connecting with my team members, uh, learning the job, fast, and collaborating with my other colleagues, influencing few critical stakeholders. So that time also I had to, that was again, if you are not putting efforts, that becomes a barrier. Yeah, and yeah, at times, though relocation at times become a barrier, uh, also doing a lot of travels, visiting different places, that needs, you need to be flexible. At times, we also being in HR also, we need to visit markets. So if you think it as a barrier, it's a barrier. If you think it's enabler, it's an enabler. So it's all about your mindset. Nowadays, if you have read Carol Dweck, okay, the psychology professor, Stanford, I think, she is, talking about growth mindset. So if you are thinking that the challenges that you are facing are actually shaping you up, then you see barriers as something, as a blessing. At times, they have made you stronger, better. Yeah.
Right. So, post pandemic, we have seen leadership being changed. What does it look like to you? How has leadership changed for you in the post pandemic?
It has become more compassionate, more empathetic, more care. Post pandemic, we have introduced a lot of employee assistance policies. We have tied up with those theme. That means they talk about mental health, mental well-being, the mental health and all. So a leader is always aware, like it's not only physical health, it's also mental health. The leader is aware that the leader has to demonstrate a lot of empathy and care for the team members. So pandemic has been a black swan event for all of us in the world,
Right.
never seen before. And pandemic has taught us a lot of things, like we need to be more flexible, we need to be more empathetic, we need to be more compassionate, we need to appreciate each other more, and mental health is also very important, and we need to take care of our mental health. The way we take care of physical health, the same way we need to take care of our mental health too. So I've seen these changes, real changes in leaders also.
Kolkata has a rich entrepreneurial and professional heritage. So, how do you see the city evolving as a business and tech hub?
Kolkata is my birthplace, and I love Kolkata. I love being born. Of course, so if you ask me honestly, I was reading a data which was published by a Provident Fund. It's published by someone, like the you understand Provident Fund, like PF, like in from your salary a percentage is deducted and it is a saving for your future.
Okay.
Okay, Provident Fund, PF. And they are saying the number of subscriber in Provident Fund is heavily rising in Mumbai, in Delhi,
Right.
in Hyderabad, Bangalore. In West Bengal, it is same. I mean, last 10 years, it has not changed much. So the data itself speaks about, gives you answer, right? So, but of course, I see a lot of good things are also happening in Kolkata. I'm hopeful that in future good things will happen.
So, you're speaking to ASMi business students who will graduate to competitive job markets. Beyond your degree and technical skill, what should be actually be developing right now to stand out? I mean, like, when you want to hire from ASMi, what do you want to see in us?
So again, I told you in the session that I just took, like the skill set that we look for is aligned with the particular job description for which we are hiring, the particular role for which we are hiring. So if we are hiring for a sales job, there is a certain specific set of skills that is
Right.
required for a sales job. If you are hiring for a customer service job or a finance job or a marketing job, skill set differs. So to answer your question, the skill set which remains common all across is first your ability to analyze data and draw insights from it. Second, your discipline. Third, your positive approach towards work, your growth mindset. Fourth, if you are willing to learn new things, your learning agility. We normally follow the values we have, learning agility, curiosity. We have values like getting result, gets result. So if you are execution oriented, if you are focused on, getting the best result,
Right.
if you can do it by with lot of speed, because in telecom technology company, speed, being first time right, getting it done accurately, first time right. If you can also, collaborate with others, if you can lead the change, because change is the only constant in this world. If you can lead the change, if you are having those, collaboration, interpersonal skills, collaborating with each other and working, if you have, that bold up, you're not afraid of failure, if you are having those what to say, so we have our values and competencies, and we normally check for a fresher, we check those things if they are high on it.
So we are students. We're gonna get into corporate jobs soon. So how should young professionals approach their first few jobs? Should they focus on compensation or learning or something else? What's your advice on career sequencing?
So career sequence and all that depends on the person. Someone also asking me the same question a while back. It depends on the person. If what is your aspiration, what you really want from your life. Career does not mean that you join an organization to a certain level and then grow to another level, get promotion, double promotion, you become a CEO and retire as a CEO. No. Career does not mean that. Career means if you are happy, if you are successful, success also, the definition of success also differs. So, first of all, ask this question to yourself, like, why do I really want to see myself after 5 years? And interviewers also ask you this question. Why do you want to see yourself after 5 years? Why do you want to see yourself after 10 years? Ask these questions to yourself, have honest answers, and then think backward. To reach there in 5 years, what are the skills I need to develop now? What are the roles I need to take up now? What are the organizations I need to select now?
Right.
What are the functions I need to select now? If you want to become a CEO, you need to work in different functions. It's not only HR or it's not only finance. You need to work in different functions. Like, for example, if you are, reading autobiographies and all, you can read about Nitin Paranjpe. Nitin Paranjpe, who is Hindustan Lever, Hindustan Unilever. And he started his company, I think he's from Jamanlal Bajaj or some good institute. And he started as a management trainee in that same company, Hindustan Lever. And he started in the sales function. And in sales, Hindustan Lever, they are sending them to the villages, working with those kirana shop owners, having chai with them. So he started from there, from sales. Then eventually he took up different roles in operations, in commercial, in in logistics, in a lot of, even in HR. So he took up different roles in different functions, and then he became the CEO eventually. Okay, so read those biographies and understand that where you want to be depends on you, and accordingly back calculate and decide what is the role you need to do now, what is the skill set you need to develop now.
So, in today's world, I think personal branding really matters. LinkedIn presence, online presence, your thought on leadership networking, how is it important for early career professional? What would you think? Where should this actually start from?
So of course personal branding is important, but it should be authentic. Okay, personal branding, you can do a lot of personal branding on LinkedIn. Authentically, whatever is your achievement, whatever is exposure you are getting, you can post it on LinkedIn, you can write about it, you can also comment on other similar things. And I think, in my view, having a personal brand in today's world is very important.
Right.
So I recommend everyone to have a LinkedIn profile and take some steps towards building your personal brand.
So we are going to have a rapid fire session with you. So questions, just short answers. Best career decisions that you have ever made.
Joining Vodafone Idea.
Okay. One book that shaped your thinking.
Leadership Pipeline.
One morning ritual or productivity hack you want to share.
Waking up early in the morning, Brahma Muhurt, 4 o'clock, and going for a morning walk.
Okay. One quality every leader should have.
Empathy, compassion.
Okay.
And lastly, your one advice you want to give in just one sentence.
Give to whom?
Give to our students, to the people that are watching.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so always believe in yourself and develop yourself. This is an era of continuous learning. When I graduated from my MBA school, I thought, okay, that's the end of learning. No, that was the beginning of learning, and believe me, I have learned much more than what I learned in my MBA school. It's always a continuous process of learning. Never stop learning. Always keep learning.
So that is it for the podcast. A huge thank you to join us today, ma'am, and helping us and giving us so many gems on building our future talent, future career.
And to everyone listening, if today's conversation helped you decode even a tiny part of that campus to corporate journey, or made you rethink how you show up to work, then you know who to thank. A huge thank you to our guest, Ms. Debalina Roy, and to everyone listening.
Until next time, keep learning, keep experimenting, and keep thinking beyond the boardroom. Thank you.
you.